have seen us going, passing the folks along the road, just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathered along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
In range. Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1862 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collinwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again, 9 o'clock. Late stuff done for a long time. And I've got my guys here, Chippers, and I've also got Tony. Evening to you guys.
Hi, John, you all right? Hi, Chippers, you all right?
Long.
Yeah, man. Wow. Hello to you guys. So, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, then you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button. Also have to hit that subscribe button as well. If you like to super chat as well, then click on the join on the $sign, just give what the channel's worth. And if you like to become a member on just as 99p a month, and I've got a competition to run for tomorrow, so plenty to talk about. We're just going to go through this as well. Big up to Lewis as well. Lewis subscribed to Saturdays on Parallax's channel this afternoon, so big up to Lewis. Hope you're around, first timer. Big up to Jeff as well. Looking forward to the stream. He always does. Not a pretty game, but
it's Jack Sweet, not Jeff.
No, sorry, Jack. I'm sorry. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Sorry. Let's go. Jackie. I'll call him Jackie G. Big up to Mighty Mag. Even guys, not a pretty game, but I take the point. Lewis a tighter boot. We're going to talk later on. 2-2 for Lewis. Yeah, great to take a point and still be unbeaten so far. Definitely. Steven on Johnson near that. Big up to you, mate. And hi to Lewis. And big up, John. I want to say that we have to buy CDM. Right wing, left winger before the transfer window closes. I'm needed by quality as well. I'm absolutely champion, mate. I hope you're fine as well, Lewis. Fantastic goal by Maxi today. I think it was over with that pen. Sean should have got it. And I think we lived in Luke Edwards' head clearly. We're going to talk about him later on. Don't you worry about it. He's not going to be escaping. I didn't know about Luke. Did you hear what Pat Keys had to say? I'm not sure about Pat Keys, but we'll look into it. Yes, definitely come on one day, Lewis. And you sound a good guy. You sound a great guy. Interest concern me. Looking for the ever as well about in podcast all day, John. Make it a good one, John. You know what? We're going to make it a good one. You're at the right place, my guy. You're at the right place. I didn't know about Luke. Did you hear what Pat Keys said? I'm fuming. Do you know what it is? I'm fuming as well about it as well. We're going to talk about the match reaction first. It finished Wolves 1, Newcastle 1. I thought we were the better team the whole of the game, to be fair. I mean, it took Ruben Neves' goal to get them out of the game. And he should have gone 2 up as well. They thought they won the game. We were 2 goals up. It was definitely pushing Ryan Fraser. And look, we had plenty of chances. But you know what it is? Tony, I'll start with you. Give us a breakdown on today's game, mate. Give us a breakdown, mate.
Yeah, well, I was fearing I might not have got to see it, but I managed to sneak it on my phone while I was having afternoon tea because it was booked at the wrong time. But from what I saw, we absolutely dominated that game with possession-wise. First half, they got their goal. We should have had a penalty. Longstaff was tugged on the shirt in the box. Clear penalty in my eyes. Willick just put it past the post. Second half came. That the short tackle. Yeah, he was lucky to stay on the field. But, maybe that evened itself up from the penalty shout that should have been in the first half. With Longstaff. And then we just kept probing at them, and quite clearly, you can see even on the bench, we really don't have a lot of options when we bring in people on. We had no Isak today because he's in the Nations clearance is still not here. We had to play with Chris Wood. He didn't really do much. He came off. We brought Fraser, Murphy, We just haven't really got the strength and depth on the bench as well to bring off to change games. But then, 8th to 9th minute, through their defending, kick the ball back. Maxi on the edge of the area. What a hell of a shot that was into the goal. Brilliant. Anderson unlucky when his header hit the crossbar in the last minute. So, yeah, if that had gone in, that would have been 2-1. We would have nicked that game, which would have been absolutely fantastic. But you know what? I'll take a point all day. It's a point gained. It's a positive still at the end of the day. We're unbeaten. 1-1, drew 3. So, and and the confidence keeps going while we go to Liverpool, and hopefully we'll have Isak in the team by then. Hopefully Bruno might be back as well. We don't know what's up with him. Eddie Howe's not really giving the game away on that one. But when you look at today's match, we clearly need some creativity in that midfield. We need somebody just somebody who's got a bit of creativity, like say James Maddison in that midfield. We need a right winger like a Diaby. And if we had that, we probably would have won that game hands down. Probably would have won that game quite comfortable. So, but to snatch a point right in the last minute, I'll take that all day. Shame we couldn't have got the 3, but hey ho, a point will do. And we go on to Anfield on Wednesday, and nothing to fear from Liverpool because I know they beat Bournemouth 9-0. But if you look at Bournemouth, they're a poor side. Even their own fans are saying we are a disgrace. They are a disgrace. So, they know they're going to have a season of struggle. Bournemouth. I don't think it might be the first time they get beat heavy this season. I think there might be a couple of 8-0s in there as well. So you never know. But yeah, overall, not bad. We got the point, and that's the main thing.
Absolutely. Chippers, give us your breakdown on today's game, mate.
Well, of course, as you know, I went on Peter's earlier, and I was a bit raw on it. I was a bit, annoyed and pissed off when I went on. As Paul pointed out on when he was on the Tuna Review earlier, he called us out. Fair enough, and I said, and he's right because I was raw. I admit, I was raw. I was annoyed. I was paid off. I was everything in one because of the fact that we didn't get what we deserved the day, which was 3 points. I don't know how they can't say it wasn't a shirt pull when it was. I mean, this come out with a crap of, it's not long enough. Well, how would they know what is long enough to pull a shirt? The fact that Willock probably should have scored pretty much in the same move anyway had us a bit annoyed. I just, it annoyed us that what the Wolves, Lodge and Never said about us being a long ball team, and they dominated the game, and I just was so fucked off with what they said as well. I thought, I'm sorry, but they've just watched the wrong game. We've had nearly 70% possession throughout. We've had 20 efforts at goal. Yep, 6 on target, which shows that that's something that needs working on. I'm sure when Isaac or Wilson comes back, there'll be more accuracy to them shots. I'm so disappointed that we didn't get the 3 points because it's ultimately what we deserved. I know we're missing key players like Bruno and Wilson, and that's what I find most good, that the fact that we can win, that we should be winning game. Well, we should have won the games without them. We're not reliant on them in a way because we're still created and dominated a side without them, and that's Wolves' strongest team as well. So that for me shows that, again, it is disappointing that we didn't win. That's why I was so annoyed earlier, and I was just why I couldn't give them out of the match because I was so pissed off at everything, and I thought it's like I probably should. In hindsight, I probably should have gave it half an hour and then came on and cooled off, but I just couldn't. I was just. But I thought Botman was outstanding at the back of the day. I just thought now got past him. I thought he was the man of the match. I just think he looks the real deal. I mean, I know people say last week, Haaland got past him. I'm sorry, but Haaland's the best striker in the world. I think Haaland will skin any defender, if I'm being honest, whether you're the best defender. I mean, I can't wait to see him skin Van Dijk because he will skin Van Dijk, but people won't make a big deal of it. So I just think it's only Botman's what was it? His second game last week. It's his third game this week. He's winning all the time, the division. Like I said, the only thing I was annoyed about with Day is when we took Wood off, we started crossing balls into the box that Wood would usually try to get on the end of, and that was a bit frustrating for me because I thought do that when he's on the pitch because that's what he's on the pitch for. And he may have took one of them chances. You never know. I'm not saying he would have, but he may have because it's what he's supposed to be his strengths are. So all in all, even though the point's still a good result, considering we had a few knocks towards the end of the game as well. So not going to complain. It's 6 points out of 12. It's 4 games unbeaten, and last time we did that, we finished 5th in the league come end of the season. So who knows?
Touch wood. Before we go on to Ryan, Thomas, I'm not going to read the next comment out, by the way, and man, I'm not going to be falling for that. Thank you very much indeed. Good, Gary D, by the way. It's nice to see Mr. Chippers back on the shore, and it's always good to see Mr. Chippers back on as well. Tom's on the for Longstaff, Anderson before him. John Alfaldo on Twitter. Thank you very much, Alfaldo. You back later on, mate. Pick up to Paul. Stay sure how desperate we are for a CDM. Also, Longstaff and Wood are not good enough. And Colin as well, for Charles, tackle could have gone either way, but assures slows right down. He didn't touch his shin, he caught him in the ankle and the foot. And big up to Mr. T, Mr. Trey. He's my boss, by the way, he's my boss. Exactly. Get him toward. And look as well, funds at the Billy as well. I just replied to Dan Bully, always here to help. Brilliant stuff, my guy. Brilliant. We definitely have a talk about a special show to get that sort of thing, you know what I mean? So big up. Going to be interesting the last few days of the transfer window. I'm not going to read the next comment out because I think it's nothing to do with football. That's the team that gets further against Liverpool. It's going to be a long 90 minutes. That's from Paul. What's happened to Bruno? All seems chewed up about him. Ryan, give us your breakdown on today's game, mate.
Well, I think it was a pretty dominant game, to be fair. I think Eddie Howe, you can't really say much about his tactics. Maybe bring on a few players on earlier, but I think the game plan was good. It's just, I think it's the personnel for those tactics he's trying to put in place, like, just aren't the best, clearly. And my fear was that without Bruno today, like, we'd struggle in midfield because that's just the way it is in sports and in football. If you lose your key players, you're not going to play up to the standard that you were previously. And that's how I felt today. Like, first half, like, I thought there's times where, like, you have to look to ASM and say, like, he's like the bright spark and can try to change the game and get us something. But people like Longstaff overplaying passes to him, Chris Wood not making the right kind of runs to allow ASM to express himself. Almiron as well, like, I think he was pretty good today, but sometimes he's a bit too one-dimensional with the left foot, and you could definitely see more out of him if he'd cross the ball and try and do something with the ball on his right foot. But I thought today, like, to get a point, I think no one deserved to win that game, I'd say. But I'm glad that we're still undefeated because we're 4 games in the season, almost 5, and like we can already see how our season's panning out now, and it's looking promising. And now that I'm glad that Isak's here because not just that, but like as a second choice striker and to compete for Wilson, but that just means either him or Wilson. We have a good option off the bench now.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll look at the team lineups today, and also I'll try and move it up. But one of those things I'll get up in a second. Your boys should do a collab with the Newcastle NFC Matters crew. You're all the best and most trustworthy voice of NFC fans by far. Critical fan base, John. Thank you so much indeed, my guy. Absolutely no political anti-Semitic posts on here anymore. You are out of here. Well said, Billy. Thank you very much indeed. We need CDM so Bruno can push into number 8 position and right winger. John, you doing any player ratings? Yes, we are doing player ratings as well. Get on later on. And Eddie didn't seem too happy after the game, I take it. Well, I didn't see him. I was on watching on with Pete. And match will beat Liverpool. That's going to be difficult, Lewis. very hard match today, and you can see where our weak links are with a midfield and striker. Yeah, we need improvements, Connor, and it's simple as that. I would love it if we beat and love it. Aston Colin, but we asked the kids, we're getting in the great positions. Just didn't didn't have anyone to put one in the net. Hopefully, Isak is that guy. Even to Stu, if in the chat, has this been mentioned this time last year? It would have been hammered today. A point better than now. Tony, you got to agree with Stu there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, you take last season's game down there. We lost 2-1. You know, and we were absolutely woeful that day. You know, nearly a year on, and we were a totally different team, more dominant. You know, where they were dominant over us last year, where we used to only get 25% possession under a certain manager. But now we are dominating games. Like I said earlier, it's just that lack of creativity we've got in midfield at the moment. You know, we just need somebody who can deliver that creativity, like a Madison or someone of the same ilk as him, and the same as a right winger like Diaby, the same, like that sort of ilk of right winger we need, and get that, and we'll be absolutely flying. You know, and then you've got Isak when he comes in, when his international clearance is eventually pushed through. Because now, obviously, with Brexit, you've got to have a visa now to a work permit. So, you know, that makes it a little bit difficult now. But hopefully that'll all be sorted by Wednesday and Isak will be cleared to play. And I still think we're going to be very active in this transfer market right up until 11 p.m. on the 1st of September. And I wouldn't rule out the owners going out there and buying another 3 players, if I'm honest, and then maybe get a loan or 2 as well. So, you know, because the owners must be looking at our bench and thinking, Christ, we've got nobody we can bring on to actually change a game. I mean, Jacob Murphy is just absolutely useless, and he shouldn't even be on the bench. I'd rather put another youngster on the bench in place of Murphy. He's diabolical, he is. So let's hope we get some reinforcements in by then, and I'm sure we will.
It's almost like the 5 subs is useless, because what impact did they really do besides keep the players on the pitch that come off somewhat fit for the next game? That's the problem with these 5 subs, is that it's become a bit predictable from who he brings on, but that's not his fault. Like, that's who we got. Like, who's been coming on? Like, Miggy's been coming off for games for Murphy, Longstaff as well, Chris Wood. Like, it's a subs bench, and like there's not much to it the numbers wise, but like it just shows. My point is that like it's nothing. Like it could have been good if we had Isak registered, because I don't think he would have played today. Like, he would have been an option off the bench for sure. But we didn't have that luxury today.
I mean, at least one decent player came off the bench, Ryan Fraser, because thankfully he got shoved in the back, so that second goal of theirs was ruled out, and rightly so ruled out, because it was a clear foul. And so glad the referee went to the monitor and checked that out, and then actually said, no, it's not a goal, to their frustration, but to our delight. But yeah, other than that, there's nobody really on that bench. There must be teams in the Premier League look at our bench and think there's nothing on there that's going to frighten us when they come onto the pitch. So that needs to be addressed. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen all this season, because it's going to take time to get rid of these players.
I don't know what's with Fraser, but this guy has to stay fit, man. Because like, I don't know, I watch games with Alex, right? And like, me and him are on the same page with him, where like, we feel like he just doesn't really add too much to our team besides like running around and stuff. Like, I think he's trying to play a 1-2 with Joelinton, and Joelinton gave away the ball because he had no option. He was just static there rather than making a run in behind. But he did put in a good cross at one time, to be fair. But like, you look at Fraser, and like, his best position's on the left wing, but you can't drop ASM right now.
Never. He's been our best player this season, to be fair. One of the best players. That goal today demonstrates that. Yes, I know Neves scored a cracking goal. There's nothing you can do about that. And he just bombarded Wolves. They defended for their lives there. But when the ball came back into ASM, he hit it the outside of the right foot and then flew the back of the net. He should have scored again.
Cool.
Straight keeper, and then Elliot Anderson was unlucky as well with header. Hit the post as well. I've got a few comments, by the way. Yes, just let you know, guys, there's a few mods on our channel. It's football related. If it's anything but football, your messages are not getting read out. And if it's anything over the top, you will be banned. Simple. So let's move swiftly on. Once we get past Liverpool, we have a good run of winnable games. Yes, Palace, West Ham, Bournemouth. Winnable games is coming up as well. Gary, no points for Forest today, and I don't think they will be getting any points for the next game as they play Man City at the Etihad. I think it's the Etihad. No, it's at City Ground, sorry. I'm not going to read the next two comments, by the way. As well, yeah. Go along with that. Everyone hit that button, please. Quality content is John panel. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate that. And you're right, Roger. Thanks, Reggie. He's one of the mods as well. Stephanie, thank you so much for your kind comments there on Twitter, and thanks very much to becoming a member as well. 99p. You'll be entering for a match ticket competition for tomorrow. Me, Macy, and Anton's going to do the draw. Whoever gets there first wins that ticket for the Newcastle Bournemouth game. So you're in the hat for tomorrow. Thank you for become a member. It's just nice to have possession of the football during 90 minutes rather than 20% on the cabbage heat.
He's right.
He's right on the money. He's right. He's correct. And John, I'm not really going to read that come out next one, mate. Just don't think it's any harm as I saw. I get that. It's a football channel. Please, please, please just realise that as well. Mods, keep your eyes out, please. Thanks very much indeed. I reckon we get two coming in maybe's feet. If none, then hope a good cop run. And Billy is saying, Murphy wasn't so bad at the it's a low bar for Wednesday, but he contributed today at best. Chippers. Billy reckons that Murphy wasn't so bad at the
Aye, but his performances are that low, then it doesn't take much to improve, does it?
Wow. Fair enough. Look at this next one. No worries. Chippers just seems to chat a lot and says, stick on the timeline. We know he's harmless. It was just nice to see someone express their concern for him. Big up to, I'll just say, ASM, just what we needed. A bit of magic, and bang, we get treated to that goal. Bang. And I thought Tuggle and Thursday made a difference when they came on. That's from Roger. The two loans, one signed before deadline day. We were robbed the day of victory. And we got one here. Have a look at this. John, everything's got to say here. Here's that Joe Willock and Longstaff were absolutely shambles today. Then he sat. Lazy, no tracking gaps in midfield. Look, Joe Willock, we know, is not back. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie, but I thought Longstaff's been poor again. Joe Willock hasn't been at his best. But look, Tony, do you think Joe Willock will get back to his best again? I think he will.
Well, I'd like to think he can get back to his best. I just don't know at the minute, John. I've just not seen the Joe Willock that we had on loan that, for that half a season where he was bang on form. Yeah, he had some good games last season, but other than that, John, he's done nothing this season really. Nothing that stands out and goes, whoa, what a great player we've got on our hands. So again, if we bring a creative midfielder in, I think Willock will be the one to be dropped. Maybe he needs a spell on the bench. Maybe a bit of a kick up the backside to think, oh, hang on a minute. I'm not on that team sheet now for every day, every game. I'm going to have to sit on the bench and earn my place. And then when he comes on as a substitute, then he makes his impact then, and then makes Eddie Howe think, oh, hang on a minute, maybe I shouldn't have had him on the bench. So maybe that's the kick up the backside he needs to sit on the bench for a while. And but unfortunately, we just haven't got the players to put him on the bench that are better than him at the club, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think they need to fix up as well. And don't upset Grace, by the way. Don't upset Joe Willock, but Grace is watching as well. You're right in what you're saying, man. But I want to see Joe Willock. I'm behind Joe Willock. I'm not going to tap on him just yet. But look, at the end of the day, I mean, come back to his best. So VAR decided it was sort of shirt pull for the penalty. Corrupt is all I can say. That's intangible. Will should have burned that chance earlier on. Chip has, I believe, he should have burned that chance, by the way. That chance he had all the net to aim for, and he just decided to go for the near post and messed it up.
Yeah, he should have scored it. I mean, but to be honest, we should have had a penalty from them anyway. So if you look at 6 and 2 threes, we should have scored from open play, but then we should have really had a penalty anyway. So it adds a bit of salt to the wounds, doesn't it, when, you know, VAR doesn't get used in the correct method, really.
Yeah. And Ryan, are you a Joe Willock fan still, or do you go tap on him, or do you think he needs a bit more time?
I think with Joe Willock, I feel like someone in his role, like for me, when I look at Joe Willock, I feel like he's more of like an 8-10. Like I think his progressive the way he progresses the ball forward is like one of the best for me in midfield. Like I think he could take it past by and like create attacks. Sometimes his link up play in the final third's a bit weird though. I think today, like his finishing, he should have toe poked at far post. It would have been a goal. But I definitely wouldn't tap on him now. Like, I think the expectation was a bit, like, it was so high already with the amount of goals he scored on loan that any dip in performance kind of wouldn't be accepted by our fan base. But at the same time, the guy's only 23. So I think another like attack. If we got someone like James Maddison and Willock was on the bench, I think I'd have that a lot more because, like you said, I think that'd give him more competition, like some kind of kick up the ass that he probably would need. But as a person, like I think he's a pretty humble guy. I like the way he comes across. And it could be the thing maybe where we just give him more games and he could become better. Maybe the loss of Bruno today, like maybe could affect him, and Chris Wood as well up top. Like, I think when you see a drop in form in any kind of players, like, I think you can't just look at the player himself, but you gotta look at what's around too. Like, you see with ASM today, like some people were criticizing him; he wasn't that good. But it's a team game for a reason because you have to have everyone's got to be up to the standard and to play well. I just think sometimes when there's a bit of change, it could mentally affect players, and maybe that's happening with Joe Willock now, and he'll overcome it. And like, I still back him, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, look, it's going to come good. It's going to come better and better and better, and we just got to give him more time. And it's just it's a hard one, really, like because we are playing well, especially in the midfield. I mean, I thought Joe Willock today, Tony, was outstanding today. I thought he was outstanding again, and making all these tackles, making those driving runs. Some came off, and some didn't. So yeah, I mean, for me, Tony, what do you think, Joelinton today? I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, Joelinton, yeah, he can do no wrong in that midfield. Joelinton, for me, I mean, he's an absolute beast in the midfield. Best thing Eddie Howe's done, put him into midfield. Obviously, just shows you the intelligence of Eddie Howe compared to a certain manager who used to be at our club, the cabbage heap manager, but who kept playing him up front all the time, or dropping him onto the bench and things like that. But no, Joelinton is probably the most improved player at the club, and he's shown he's £40 million worth now. And he's just going to get better and better, isn't he? Because he's still young and he's nowhere near his peak yet. So Joelinton, he's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Absolutely. Got one here from Kate Thornton again. Big up to you, Kate. Hope you're okay. Talking to Stu. Big up to you both, Kate and Jonathan. Hope you both okay. Thanks again, Roger. Appreciate it, mate. Compare Willock with Dele Alli. He's not Premier League material. Wish he was proved wrong. He was rubbish at City and Wolves today. Fair enough. If we didn't sign Madison, we wouldn't need a work permit. Let's see if his injury is legitimate or not. Apparently, he was injured yesterday against Chelsea, man. And what a change
Didn't
Santiago
play.
Munoz. Nah. He wasn't rubbish today. He's setting sets of all laws. Just needs to working on the finishing. Big up to Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Big up to you, mate. Hope you're okay. You not had the best of starts, haven't you? I mean, you were 2 up against West Brom the other day, and you only drew 2s each. I mean, I think you Mrs. Corberan, I think, your coach. Why he left, I got no idea. But good luck to Huddersfield this season. I hope we do really well. And when it comes to a lot of ground, everyone's saying hi to Huddersfield Fan TV. And let's look at this one as well. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to go around do the player ratings and now, and before we're going to talk about Luke Edwards as well. So we're going to start with Tony. We're going to go with Nick Pope, and what we do in the player ratings, we give players out of 10, including the manager, the fans, and the subs. So you can also join in as well. So we'll start with you, Tony. We're going to start with Nick Pope. I mean, look, he made 1 or 2 good steers, like one wielded steers today, but how many marks out of 10 would you give him?
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't do nothing about the goal. I mean, you know, it's coming through bodies, and you know, we know what Neves is like. If you give him give him that little bit of space to shoot, you know, 9 times out of 10, he's hitting the target, whether it's safe by the keeper or it's going in the back of the net. Most of the time, he's burying him in the back of the net. And funny, we talked about this, John, as well, about Neves as well, saying, you know, we need to close him down more. Other than that, he didn't have a bad game. You can only do with what's in front of you at the end of the day. And, you know, he's still good with his distribution. You know, he's getting better with his footwork, I think, as well. So I'm going to give him about a 7 out of 10 for today's match.
Okay, 7 out of 10 for Nick Pope. Let's go with you, Chippers. I'm going to give you Trippier. I mean, again, he did the basic things right. And what many marks out of 10 would you give him today?
I'm going to give him a 6. I thought he didn't really have a bad game, but his set pieces let him down a bit. His set pieces, his quality from free kicks and corners wasn't the best. So that's why I'm going to give him a 6, because I felt that one night last week and midweek where there was a difference, the day that didn't make much difference because they struggled to beat the first man or they were pretty aimless. So that's the only reason why I give him a 6. I think I'd give him a 7 or an 8 if his free kicks and corner distributions were better.
Yeah. So 6 out of 10 for Kieran Trippier. I'll go really round. I'm going to give you on the other side. I'm going to give you Dan Burn.
Oof. I'd probably give him a 7. I don't think he's solid defensively, I think. The problem with the Dan Burn is that he's not a natural left back, right? And like he's too tall to like make actual he's too tall to make like runs in behind to support our wingers and do what fullbacks normally do. He's just like that defensive option. I think he had to come off he didn't come off because like he was bad. Like I think we just needed more we needed more going forward and like yeah, I think as a left back he did well today. I'd give him a 7.
Okay, I'm going to give Tony the honour of having Sven Botman.
Yeah, I thought Sven Botman was brilliant today. You know, he's got his tackles in. You know, he's come into the side and he's proven why we've paid the money for him. And this guy's only going to get better and better, you know. And maybe one day he'll be the future Dutch captain as well for the Holland side. So I'm going to give Botman an 8 today. I thought you were steady, solid. Yeah, so I'll give him an 8.
That guy's going to be absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Kate says no Bullet for Liverpool game on Wednesday, John. I think he's going to be out in that game as well, I'm afraid, so he'll not be playing. We're going to go on to Chippers. I'm going to give you Fabian Schar. I think he was lucky not to be sent off today. And, yeah, he defended all right, but what do you want to give him out of 10?
I'm going to give him a 7 because I thought, apart from that chance Wolves had early on where he let his man go, where they put the one on the roof of the net, didn't really have much to do. I thought he was pretty comfortable in defence. I mean, people might say, "Oh, he's lucky to stay on the pitch." Well, I thought he wasn't a red card anyway, so I'm going to say a 7 because he didn't really. I thought, if anything, the defence was pretty comfortable, and I thought, like, that's how we can control the game away. I thought we were, like I said, fine at the back. I didn't think defensively was a problem again. So 7.
Yeah, enough. It's funny how quick Casemiro's permit came through and Isaacs didn't. Yeah, good call, Mark.
But do you know what's the difference? They signed him on a Tuesday and then they played him on the Saturday. There's 4 days between the game, not 24 hours. You know what I mean? 48 hours. It's 4 days.
Got to give the benefit.
Oh, no, in fact, they signed him on the Monday. So there's like 5 days. So, you know, it's a big difference to 2 days, but never mind.
This was like the time for Liverpool, then yeah, like that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Enough. We go to Ryan. We're done at the back four. Done, burned to the back four. We can go to the midfield 3. I'm going to give you the honour in you, Joelinton.
I'd give him an 8 today.
Yeah.
I think the beginning of the game, like he was struggling a bit, but I think he was growing into it more. Like he was starting to link up play more. As always, like busting the gut if we lose possession to win balls back. Yeah, I'd give him an 8. He was solid. Yeah, 8.
8. Fair enough. What about you, Tony? I'm going to give you Sean Longstaff.
To be fair, the guy's not really played well, has he? Apart from having his shirt pulled in that penalty area. I just didn't. To be honest, he's no replacement for Bruno, that's for sure. So didn't have the best of games, I don't think. I'm going to give him a 6, I think, because he wasn't the best today. So I'll give him a 6. I'm being kind there, giving him a 6, by the way.
Yeah. I tell you what, I would give him 4 today because again, I didn't think it was that great today. I'm going to give Chippers Willock. Thanks, Roger.
I want to give it about 6 and a bit, 6.5 for Willock towards 7. Okay, he didn't do too much wrong, but he should have scored, I think, as well. I don't know, it's difficult to explain. I still want to see him like what he did when he first came, where he's bursting into the box and things like that. And I think Eddie Howe wants him to play differently, but I don't know. It's hard to give someone a rating where I didn't think he had a bad game, but I don't think he had a good game. I thought he just did what he had to do. If you get what I mean, he wasn't someone where I look at him and think, oh, he was outstanding, or oh, he was rubbish. I just think he just got through the game as opposed to being like a person that you notice. So I'm going to say 6.5-ish.
Fair enough. We're going to go to the front 3. Ryan, I'm going to give you Miggy.
I'd give him a 7 today. I think he was promising with his attacking play again. There's times where he got in behind and caused Wolves some trouble. The problem is, like what I said earlier, like there's times where he goes all the way to the byline, pulls it back to Trippier, bring crosses in. When I feel like it's the problem with this inverted winger stuff is that you can't get actual strong foot. Like the players like ASM and Miggy, you have to cut in to cross the ball, and sometimes it's predictable for the other team to notice that, and they cut that off. So he just has to recycle play or just give it to Trippier to put the balls in. But yeah, like I think defensively too, Miggy was. There's one time he won the ball back from Neves in the first half. I think it was brilliant, and he's a really special player for the system because, like for me, I don't like just judging people if they're hard work or whatever. Like he actually makes good use of it because he puts pressure on keepers, makes them lose the ball, puts pressures on defenders. Like that's what I want from players, and he always does that, and like is valuable to the team and any kind of team. So I'd give him a 7.
Fair enough. Fair enough. 7 out of 10 sounds about right. I'm going to give you the honours of ASM 20.
Yeah, I thought ASM carried on his form from last week against City. I thought he had a great game. He was absolutely terrific. And, well, his goal at the end, I mean, what a goal that was. I mean, the volley from outside the area, straight in, great goal. So for me, I'm going to give Sant Maximum a 9 because he pulled us out of the shit basically and got us that point. So yeah, I'll say a 9 for ASM.
Looks like ASM's going to be a star man then. For me, it'd be Botman, but ASM's a star man. Fair enough. Let's go with Chippers. So we're going to go with Chris Wood.
I'm going to say a 6. He didn't do anything right, but he didn't really do anything wrong because I fell for him because he had no real service, and then when the service started happening, he wasn't on the pitch. So we start putting balls in the box when ASM was up front, and I'm thinking, well, you're crossing balls into a player who's 4 foot tall. You know what I mean? It's like crossing to the Boroughs when the bloody Giants on the centre backs. It was, but I thought he did play better. And I thought he did do, he did make the runs there, but the balls weren't like ASM and Amon didn't give him. And I think, as I said, if the crossing came on, it happened when he was on the pitch. It happened when he wasn't on the pitch. Who knows? He might have had a goal, or he would have definitely had some chances. So I'll say a 6. I feel sorry for him. I just think he's looking sorry. I think even though he scored maybe, I think he looks like he's feeling sorry for himself as well. And I think you don't like to see that in a player, whether they're good enough or not. You don't like to see them feeling sorry for themselves.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go on to that's our 11, isn't it? Let's go on to the subs. We're going to start with Ryan. We're going to start with Elliot Anderson.
I'd probably give him a 7 just because he wasn't on long enough, but he did make some kind of impact. Like I think he released Jacob Murphy on for our goal actually, which I didn't even notice. I thought it was Trippier. Great long ball. His link-up play, I think the last minute of the game, like him and Joelinton were trying to do 1-2s around the box and he got fouled. I think this guy's going to be promising and he's got hunger about him. He kind of does have that Joe Willock attack on him too, where he wants to grab the ball and progress. Because I think he's more of like a 10 almost. He's definitely like an attacking player that you put in midfield, and unlucky at the crossbar chance too. So yeah, I'd give Anderson a 7.
Fair enough. 7 out of 10 sounds about right. We are lucky not to win in that game in the end. If you look at our chances, very good performance. All things considered from Tony the Red, crossing to the bar. I love it. ASM was ganged up on the day. I think we need to make use of both wings rather than be predictable. Giving it to ASM that every opportunity. Yeah, I have to agree there, sort of thing, of something different. Let's go on. Who came on sub today? Was it?
It was Murphy, Fraser, Richie. And then Richie came on the last minute, didn't he?
Richie's not applicable.
No, but in the standard 5.
I don't think he touched the ball, did he?
Nah. I'd say if that's the case, then I'm going to give you the honour to Tony Jacob Murphy then.
Jacob Murphy. Well, he obviously excelled himself a little bit, but obviously he still needs a lot more convincing for me to like him, but he still needs to do more. I just don't know what to. I'll just give because he wasn't on for long anyway, was he? He was on for the 6 minutes plus the extra time, so it's about 14 minutes he played. I'm going to give Murphy a 6.
I'm surprised. So he did okay, I guess. He did react
Yeah.
to.
I'll give him a 6 for that. Yeah.
Fair enough. And Jippers are going to give you Ryan Fraser.
I'll give him a 6. Came on and put crosses in the box, but unfortunately, the person he came on for was the person who he's meant to be putting crosses into the box for. So he came on forwarded, and then he started putting balls in the box. I'm thinking, well, you've just come on for the person that you've been putting the balls in for. So
makes no sense, doesn't it? It makes no odds at all whatsoever.
He did make a difference by putting balls in the box as opposed to someone who didn't. But I'll go for a 6 because I don't think he did anything spectacular. We didn't do anything wrong either. He just, you know what I mean? I struggle to find out who, apart from possibly Longstaff, who really did much wrong as opposed to doing stuff right.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough.
John,
let's go, Tony.
Yeah, just some breaking news here for you. Obviously, it doesn't concern us, but it concerns a rival of ours, Man United. They've agreed an £85 million deal for Ajax for Anthony.
Oh, Jesus.
85 million quid.
That's a lot of money, man.
But the Glazers don't support their managers, apparently, you know.
And you know what, Sam, the fickle fans will be out now saying, the Glazers are great owners, aren't they? You know.
Glazers in, guys.
Yeah.
There's so many flip-flops, right? Let's be real. I'm not going to lie, but
it is, John.
85 million quid. You either Glazer in or Glazer out. Yeah, it's as simple as that. What on the other? It's like Arsenal, Arteta in or Arteta out.
We're all Glazer in. Well, no, the thing is that look at what happened before Ronaldo came to Man United. Like, the same people that want Glazer out are buying shirts. Makes no sense.
Doesn't make sense.
I talk a lot about with
85 million quid.
You guys know Roy.
Money.
You guys know Roy, right? I always talk to him on Twitter about it, like how I always see like a few Man United stuff on Twitter, and I just tag them in, and then like I love seeing all these United fans argue.
Jesus.
I mean, John, last season he started 21 games out of 23, scored 8 goals and 4 assists, and you're paying 85 million for that. Well, honestly, it's just like the Mackems down the road. It's the club that keeps the gift that keeps on giving. So, you know, let them. That's 145 million spent on 2 players that are, you know, one's a pensioner and the other one's
him and Anthony,
not worth 85 million.
Sancho and Anthony, like those guys. Remember, John? You remember? I remember I wanted Anthony for before the transfer even window began, but like looked like it was getting phased out, and like, geez, 85 million, man.
Oh, that's a lot of money. Wow. I'll leave it as that, man. But listen, you've got to get him in the top 4 this season. Ten Hag, he's got to do it. He has to do it. He knows that. No, he doesn't. Last week against City, it was like to let people. This week, it was like he crowded out. Sometimes we need to use right wing more to create the space at ASM, switch to play it more. And Tony Red said 85 million notes.
The thing is, though, regarding the ASM, we play some teams that are defensive and some teams that are attacking. If you look at Man City, they don't play defensive football. Wolves, they just, as soon as they scored, sat back and defended. They didn't have no intent of scoring another goal. So it's kind of like if say, for example, if he's fit for Liverpool, it might be good for against Liverpool because they're going to come out with. So there'll be gaps. And if you think of it, their defence, you know, Van Dijk's, is he 30 now? I mean, their midfield is quite aging as well. So it's you might have ASM on better form again because he might just run at them because there'll be gaps. So
I think without Fabinho and Thiago, like their midfield's kind of vulnerable.
Yeah. Yes. When you've got Henderson and Milner. Henderson and Milner are combined age of nearly 70. Then
that's a mismatch right there.
Tell you what, John. I mean, you've got a player like Gakpo from PSV who would probably cost a lot less than what Anthony's costing.
Exactly,
And,
man.
and he's
Just
played
'cause
3
he's
games a
Brazilian.
season, 3 goals and 3 assists, John. What a
Skillful.
player.
He's skillful. He's absolutely skillful. I'm telling you. And I love skillful players, man. That guy, I tell you, wherever he goes to, whether it's in the Premier League or the Spanish League, he'll do bits, that guy. I'm telling you. Go on.
Yeah, he plays in midfield, centre, attacking midfield, striker, and left wing. So he can play in a variety of positions. Again, like I said, that creativity we need in midfield, he would be ideal, John. And even last year, 22 out of 27 games, 12 goals, 13 assists, a bit like Diaby done for Leverkusen.
Exactly. Some player here. He's quick as well. And wow. I still can't get over that money, 85 mil. I came on, and John's talking about Man United. I didn't start it. Totally started it.
I just said there was breaking news about Man United saying Anthony for 85 million. That's all I put on.
Wow. I think Macy will love that tomorrow, by the way. We're sure he's not a red. I'm not a red. Macy's a red. And Tony red in the chat as well. Van Newcastle dropping 150 million in a week. And we're supposed to believe they're like Matt Ashley. Give me a bloody break. Billy, I feel your pain, mate. I feel your pain, Billy. Everything's saying Judy. ASM's always going to be ganged up on if you make a predictable in an attitude. Let's give ASM the ball every opportunity. I like to see it mixed up sometimes. Got one from Chris Mann. United paid 80 mil for Maguire. This looks good by comparison. Why did they go and did RB? He would have been a lot cheaper, by the way. Anti-deal idiots. That's AJ. Joking aside, Man United Alexander, what happens when you give to the big club tax? I respect our orders more for infusing these ridiculous prices. Also, mad love everyone. Mad love to Judy as well. You know what? We love Judy, by the way. She's come on for a long, long time. But let's be real. Judy talks sense. Breaking tweet tunes up the bid of 55 mil for Alvarez. I don't know, is Alvarez Edson Alvarez, the Mexican guy?
Yeah, but I'm saying have we? Because I haven't seen anything. But if we have,
I'm waiting for Fabrizio to say something about that. For really infirm.
Here we go.
Hey!
Here we go.
Looks like Fabrizio's being in the mud with that Joao Pedro tweet as well. Like, looks like that's not happening.
Do you know what I think, though? I think, we had agreed it, but I think with Wilson getting injured, I think we've kind of went to Isaac instead. And then I think we've said Pedro. I don't know. I think we might go back. I still think the deal's there. I don't think we've pulled from it. I think the deal's. I won't be surprised if it's still there and it's on the table if we want it. It's just a case of can we get better?
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
I've just seen somebody's put a tweet out there saying reports in Holland suggest Newcastle have made a €55 million offer for Ajax midfielder Edson Alvarez. So it's in Holland, going around 55 million euros.
They wanted 50, didn't they? So by all means, that could be accepted. So they're going to lose. They could lose Anthony and Alvarez.
They've already lost
in the last 4 days of the window.
Well, they've lost most of their players. Gravenberch,
yeah.
Nasraoui, Martinez. Yeah, a lot of their players. Oh, Haller as well.
Yeah,
they're just a cash cow on the buy, and then they'll just get some young lad from the youth team up and sell him in a couple of years.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, I would not be surprised to turn it down because they can get 85 million for Anthony. Sure, they can get more for flipping Alvarez as well. That's the thing. They might tell us, you know what, come up with 60.
I've seen they wanted 40 million euros yesterday, and we were paying 35. So it's some jump that we've gone up for. If there's obviously, if we've gone back, there's obviously a deal to be done.
I'll tell you what,
because on Friday it was broken by Mexican journalists that we were preparing a €40 million bid for him. Do you remember when I showed you that, John? And then
did.
And then all of a sudden now it's gone up to 55 million, and they're reporting it in Holland as well. So if it's coming out of Holland as well, then there must be some sort of truth in that somewhere along the line. And like I say, if we get him cracking signing, because not only he plays defensive midfield, can also play centre
back.
half and right back as well. So he can play in a variety of positions.
I
And
think we'd probably buy
maybe,
him as a
yeah,
CDM though, and he'd be perfect.
yeah,
I think with Shelby being out till January, we would definitely need to do, because I know Bruno can play there, but it kind of
Scar's
takes
an eight.
away. Yeah, it takes away like his better side, which is he can attack and score goals. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have to wait and see what happens on that one. I'll be doing 2 live streams tomorrow.
Hey John, can I rate Eddie Howe?
Yeah, Eddie Howe for you, and then Tony do the fans. Eddie Howe.
I think I'd give him an 8 today. I think the only thing I'd probably say for him is probably, I think Elliot Anderson on earlier, and also to swap ASM and Miggy, because that game didn't really suit inverted wingers, and we needed people across the ball just with their strong foot and the Chris Wood and get balls in, and I'd give him an 8. I don't know what you guys have to say about that.
Yeah,
My
I would
opinion on
probably give it an 8 anyway. Again, with the squad we've got, without Bruno, without Isak as well, we went in. We done a good job today with the players that we got today, and I thought we played really well. Okay, the goal, there's nothing a lot I could do about the goal, but at the end of the day, Wolves missed a couple of good chances as well, as I speak. Bottom line is, they didn't take the chances. There you go.
I think my 8-2 with them is just because of how the game plan was and the way to dominate, and like some of the instructions the players had, the 1-2s, some of the attacking plays. Like I thought it was all there. It was just the execution, and Eddie Howe can't do anything about the execution. He's just there to best prepare our team to go out and get wins.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's done a good job today. Again, he's got his tactics so right today, apart from Chris Wood, of course. But there you go. Tony, last one before we talk about Luke Edwards. We're going to talk the fans. Marks out of 10 for the fans.
Yeah, fans, John. Yeah, there was some times in the game where fans were a little flat, but other than that, the fans stayed with the team all the way through till the end. Great following again, another sellout, and having to get up early to travel down to Wolves for a 2 p.m. kickoff. And our fans are just absolutely brilliant. So 10 out of 10 for our fans.
100%. We sell out crowds, don't we? Brilliant. So that's the play ratings done and dusted. We go for the comments to talk about Luke. And would it not be easy and cheaper for the whole Ajax team just move to the Premier League? I think American football teams move cities like that. That's a fair shout. There would be an Ajax team if that happens. I think Watford thought the deal with Petrol was done. That's why Fab tweeted. He's a Watford fan and knows the owners. I think Wilson injury makes us look elsewhere. I agree. Did I miss still saying Dobbs exchange for Madison? I take it all day long. The Elite 2, we wanted him, but he went to Bayern. That's I've heard that as well. I'd rather pay 50 mil for Madison, who, by the way, will start in the Leicester squad this weekend. 55 million works out to be 46 million quid, by the way, guys, for Alvarez as well. How and ESD were injured, who should have won. Toonty Black Army, thank you, mate. I wouldn't listen to the Dutch newspaper. The last few transfers only hit the media once. The transfers was 90% done. The club doesn't leak info to anyone. Let's take this one. Work, Mr. Sitter. He did. Howe had a lot of last-minute decisions to make before letting team with a week on bench. I don't believe that Wolves will ever beat us again after today. Shite Shaw rolling around on the grass after the slides of touches from two players. And Judy, that's why we love Judy. Hit likes if you didn't already. Thank you, Judy, as well. Right, we're going to talk about Luke Edwards, right? This guy today, we all saw the tweet. He is an absolute mup. I'm sorry, Ryan, but I'm going to mention him as well. But he sent a tweet a day, and during the second half of the game, he put up, right, and he said, this is a performance we can only hope it's bad enough. That it means we won't have to see this awful Saudi Arabian national team kit again. And that sparks riots. I've done my piece on a recorded content as well. I was receiving. But I'll start with you, Tony. You've got plenty of things to say about that. And it is a shocking tweet, an awful tweet. Even people having a go at us, because I've done a recording thing as well, saying that he's right. Well, I'm sorry. I think it's a disgraceful tweet, by the way. So, Tony, what's your take on it, mate?
Well, yeah, it's a disgraceful comment to make. And the club should ban him, first of all, should ban him from the club, not to report or not to even get in press conferences because the guy's a muppet. And I can't stand the guy. I never have done. The problem with Luke Edwards is he's so far up Steve Bruce's backside. You know, he was the one calling out the owners when Bruce went and everything like that. I just can't stand the guy one bit. And then to come out with that ridiculous tweet was, you know, I don't know where his headspace is, because, you know, it's just, is there anything there between his ears? You know, it's just absolutely disgraceful. You know, to say that the performances only hope it's bad enough, that means you won't have to see this awful Saudi Arabian national kit again. Now, that, to me, that is racism. And I'm sorry, I'm going to call that out. That is racism, a form of racism at the end of the day. Because you should not, if you're a respected journalist, no matter what your views are, you should not say things like that. If I'd said something like that and say where I work, we had, you know, different people from different backgrounds, and they were offended by that, do you think I would still have a job the next day? Probably not. I'd probably be giving me marching orders, you know. And for him to put that on there, you know, I mean, I probably will. I'll email the Telegraph if I have to and explain it and say, look, this is not right and this needs to be done. My reply to that was, I just said, replying to Luke Edwards, what a disgraceful report and form of racism. It has no place in society. Hope you don't support Kick It Out, because if you do, then you're a hypocrite. So, you know, he probably is. He probably does support Kick It Out, which I'm going to see he's a hypocrite then. But I hope the club see that, and I hope they tell him where to sling his hook. And I hope they report him to the Telegraph as well, because disgusting. And do you know what? If he blocks me, I couldn't care less.
I blocked him already.
I've got no F's to give him, so I couldn't care.
I'm sick of seeing his crap all the time. Just brain
I call
dead.
him Mr. Doom and Gloom.
There is no gloom. It's all doom with him.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. It's just, I just don't know why he's come out with that. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
The guy's a joke of a journalist, and I don't even know how he can call himself a journalist, you know. At least, you know, Ben Jacobs, I know, said a lot of things about our takeover now. But when you actually do listen to Ben, yeah, okay, some of the things he said was correct. Some things, yeah, we don't agree with. But, you know, no matter how much people don't like who our owners are, at the end of the day, you should not be slagging them off like that.
Exactly.
You know, and I bet Luke Edwards is going to Qatar to the World Cup, where human rights issues were violated there. If he wants me to go on, I will. Because the thing is, there was workers working on them stadiums, 24-hour works every day on them stadiums.
Yeah, in the heat.
Some people were falling to their deaths on stupid amounts of money an hour, like little amounts an hour or whatever it was, a couple of pounds an hour. But do you see that reported in the news? No, nothing's reported like that. It's all hush-hush. Because that World Cup in Qatar was all backhanded, and Sepp Blatter was part of that. So if they want to come out and slate us about the Saudis, then I think people need to look at the World Cup, and I think half these journalists, or most of them, should boycott the World Cup, because, you know, if they want to call us out for human rights, well, go and call Qatar out for human rights, but I bet they don't, because they all want their nice hospitality boxes and their expensive 5-star hotels and being treated like a king or a queen.
Right. Your take on, what do you think, Chippers? Your take on that one, mate?
I don't need to say anything. Tony said it all. I think I can just sit back, get the cigar out and just say it. Look, he blocked me ages ago because I called him out on something and he didn't like it. He doesn't like it when he's... All I'm going to say is he doesn't like being called out when he's wrong, because he's a tosspot. That's all he is. He's a tosspot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak any more about him because he doesn't deserve the headlines that he gets, because that's what he wants. He wants to feel good. He wants everybody to talk about him. But no, I'm sick of him. I don't want to talk about him anymore.
John, I'm going to take off now.
No problem, mate. Listen, thanks for coming
Yeah,
on, mate.
I was
And,
going to say, John, I was going to say I'm going to shoot as well because I've got stuff to do before work in the morning.
no, that's fine. That's no problem, mate. I mean, I haven't got to work tomorrow, so
Here's
yeah,
my
you crack
Twitter
on,
if anyone
guys,
wants to
and
talk to
speak
me.
to you tomorrow. You take care. Thanks for coming in.
So he's like,
Take
chaps.
care.
Cheers,
See you
fans.
later, Chaz.
See you later,
Ciao.
mate.
See ya.
We go another 10 more minutes or so before we wrap up, sort of thing as well. And I'm sure Chip has a sense too. Listen, at the end of the day, right? I mean, we'll just go through this. Well, Gary's saying 170 likes. What planet are they on about? Liking that. Did Luke Edwards cover the Usyk Joshua fight? I'm sure he did. It'll be 170 Sunderland fans. Well said, Tony Dude. Too many hypocrites in the sports. Our government are selling weapons to the Saudis. It's Luke not talking about that. Probably Mackems. I'm not surprised. Cheers and that. Good stream again. Tony, again, sort of thing. I mean, I think he needs to just shut up now and just keep his mouth shut, basically.
Yeah, he's got to, because it's just getting to the stage now where people are just getting sick of it. The same old. Yeah, I know. I know people have got problems with it, but at the end of the day, as a fan base now, we're used to this now. We are getting used to this. We knew this was going to happen, but it's people like that just need to be. He needs to be called out as well, and as a previous comment said on there, I bet he covered the Usyk and Joshua fight in the Saudis. I mean, did you see anybody else calling out the Saudis for that fight being there? Did they see anything? No, because again, they got the hospitality boxes, probably ringside. They got their lovely 5-star hotels in Tret Lake, royalty from the Saudis. So they're not saying nothing on that, but they're quick enough to call us because we have Saudi owners. And you have Formula One in Saudi Arabia. Is anything said about that? No. Aramco sponsor Formula One. Is anything said about them? No. So at the end of the day, these journalists just need to button it up and move on. At the end of the day, we've got our takeover. We're a club on the up, and the problem is they're jealous because we are going to break that top 6 module, and we're going to be we're going to be part of the big 7, not a big 6.
I totally agree, Tony, 100%. I mean, they just haven't got over it. It's as simple as that. It's just shocking, man. I mean, look, we just move on. Let them carry on. Let them cry. Let them cry some more. Because at the end of the day, we got no sympathy for them at all whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? I'm sympathetic, but not with these lot. Another note: Villa got beat again. Hopefully, them and Everton get relegated. Travelling in midweek to see their white strip with green trim. Not got said about that, didn't they? You know what I mean? Any changes you think we need to make them to the team for a Liverpool game? Go wait for Eddie Howe's press conference on Tuesday. Bruno's definitely out. I know that's a fact. ASM went off as well. Don't look good at all. So Elliot Anderson may come in. I hope he starts. Jot Wood, we played a lot better when he went off. I think Chris Wood should not be in that team again. First time watching, won't be the last. Well done, guys. Alan D hits the sky button, mate. It's your first time. Thank you very much indeed. Nice one, mate. And Luke isn't a Toon fan. He tries to wind the fans up because it gets people tarting. Free publicity for that absolute muppet. Yeah, he's a lazy on.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, John. Yeah, he's an Orient fan, isn't he?
He is an Orient fan. Concentrate on his team. Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate that, mate. Thanks so much indeed. And nice one as well from Roger. So, like I said, sort of thing before we wrap up. All it is, I've got 252 likes on social media regarding that Luke Edwards as well. And so Bruno's girlfriend giving birth, or was that just a normal Newcastle fans making stuff up? Nobody knows.
No, like I said to you at the start, John, that's a rumour I heard. Because she's 38 weeks pregnant. In case she goes into labour, he didn't want to be at the game. Maybe she's maybe she's having sort of labour pains or something. We don't know. So, which is understandable because if she went into labour, he's a few hours away from Newcastle, so you'd have to get back. So I can see if he was out for that reason, because Eddie Howe's give nothing away to say that Bruno is definitely out the next game. He's never said that. He's just said, well, we'll just see. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But I know obviously Isak was in the stands today, so I wonder what he made of today's match. Let's hope he's on the pitch on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Dubravka as well. I mean, according to Fabrizio, Dubravka is doing an Anthony and forcing a move to Man United. Yeah, so he's just throws toys in the pram and said he wants to move to Man United. So if that is true, he was in the team today. So if that is true, being stroppy, he wants to see United move, that's poor form.
Yeah, absolutely. And if he wants to go to Man United, I think we should be saying to Man United, well, give us 10 million and you can have him. Or if they're willing to pay that for Anthony, let's just say here, they are, Dubravka, 20 million and he's yours. And I'm sure Man United would soon say no, thank you, because they're not getting him for 5 million, because I think that's an absolute joke, to be honest with you.
Kevin Trapp is the same age at 32, 33, and Frankfurt wants a 21 million release clause for this goalkeeper. Yeah, and that's why United bolt, which is fair enough. And he didn't want to go to United anyway. He's happy in Germany. So well done to Kevin Trapp. There's been a skillful good. Yeah, I think I read that, by the way. Cheers, John, Tony, Mods, and chatters. Mighty Mags, thank you very much indeed. We'll see what happens in 20 minutes. Easy, yeah, I agree. Absolutely. We're going to see what happens. We're going to do the Premier League roundup tomorrow at what time it'll be. I don't know. I think it's probably an early one. I think it's either 5 or either 6. But what we do, I'll let Macy know, or Macy can let us know that you can come on as well. Then we could do this competition for a match ticket as well. So if you're a member, you'll be able to enter into a competition to win a match ticket for Newcastle Bournemouth game on September 17th, which is a Saturday game, and get yourself a member, 99p, and then you'll be entered into the draw as well, and then you give us the details for the tickets. So, and let's say this one, I was screaming when Maxi scored that goal, well happy with the result, although I think we deserve to win. AG, have to agree, mate, have to agree with you. So, you're going to wrap up there, by the way, because it's a bit late, and Tony, where do you find you, my guy?
Yeah, so if you want to give me a follow, I'm on Twitter at Tony31. Give me a follow and I'll follow you straight back.
Brilliant stuff. And I'm just going to go through the members as well, the members, sure. And see how many members I've got. Well, I've got 51 members, but also I've got 2 today. AG, if you're in the chat, man, thank you for becoming a member as well, mate. AG, I wasn't aware of that, but thanks so much indeed. And Stephanie Nearly as well. She sounds lovely. Thanks for becoming a member too in the draw as well for tomorrow. And we're going to do that tomorrow. So, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, then hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button as well. If you like super chats, click on the $sign. If you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. If you can't get into it, just go on Google and do it that way. The links are in the description as well. So, like I said, read that. Good price, John. Thanks, Roger. Great shows always. Thanks, Gary D. Looking forward to it, John. Big up, Jason. Good luck tomorrow, mate. Good luck to Roger as well. You can win a ticket to a home match, well worth the membership money, 99p. The ticket's 35 quid. So if you win that ticket, you never know. And thanks a lot. So, mate, it's a coupley thing. To you. Hope you enjoyed the weekend. Great weekend for us and sure, lads. We're still unbeaten. That's from Aaron, and he's a big Manchester City and a Haaland fan as well. So, guys, thanks for coming on, Tony. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll be backstage. And I shall see you guys tomorrow. Definitely do the Premier League roundup, sure, with John and Macy and Tony and do that draw. And I shall see you guys tomorrow. We drew the day once each, still unbeaten. How will the lads? And I shall see you guys tomorrow. It's a goodbye for now.
Bye.